Welcome to Outside the Ring. I'm here with the amazing Nate Matson.
That's right. How you doing, Mav? Can I call you Mav?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Doing great, man. What about yourself?
Doing great. Yeah, it's nice evening. Having some coffee. Got the Halloween decorations that are starting to go up, so it's a good day.
All right. So, what got you into wrestling?
Well, I'm a longtime fan. I grew up watching it in the '80s, so just to age myself there. But um, it was the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, the WWF in the '80s. I would watch it Saturday mornings. They used to come on, and it was way before Monday Night Raw, before any.
Yeah,
Yeah, so um, back then it was just there was only four pay-per-views a year if it was WWF, and same with WCW. So, it's wrestling now is on every night of the week pretty much, and
yeah.
then all over on YouTube and internet. So, but back then, uh, it was only on Saturday mornings or pay-per-view, every few months. So, that's kind of my start. And then used to be a lot of magazines. I'd go and read all the wrestling magazines and just hooked as a kid. Probably about 9 or 10 years old, I started watching wrestling.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, how'd you get the ring name Amazing Nate Matson?
Yep. So, like nowadays, there's not a lot of guys with like nicknames. Like wrestlers used to take nicknames from kind of like boxing. A lot of boxers back in the day would, Sugar Ray Leonard or Thomas Hitman Hearns, which is where Bret the Hitman Hart got his from, was a boxer named Thomas Hitman Hearns. So I was trying to think of something different for Amazing Nate. And so Nate I spell it the letter N and the number eight. And it's just kind of like my unique way of spelling Nate.
Yeah,
So that came from my skateboarding days. When I was younger, I used to skateboard. And so we would spell skate SK8. So Nate rhymes with skate. So that's how I got, the N and the eight. But as far as Amazing Nate goes, um, I was just looking around like wrestling magazines, and I was trying to come up with something different. And my favorites were like Nature Boy Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage. Everybody had a nickname in front of their name, so I wanted to have like Amazing Nate Matson. So I just thought amazing, and I looked up the dictionary and the definition of it, and it's to surprise or stun. Uh, you know, just kind of like it didn't mean that I was great. It didn't mean that I was, this awesome wrestler. It just meant like my wrestling style would surprise people, it would stun people. So I just kind of thought that was a cool thing to go with, and it kind of flowed Amazing Nate. So I just went with that.
yeah. Um, how long have you been wrestling?
Well, long time. So this November will be 27 years. Yeah, pretty crazy. It's hard. It flew by, and it's hard to think that I started wrestling. My first match was in 1996, so last century. It's been a long time. So, but no, I'm feeling good. Still healthy, and so still trucking along.
Yeah. Where did you start wrestling at?
So, I used to go to independent wrestling shows when I was in high school, and there wasn't that many back then. And I was watching Saturday morning wrestling, and I saw a commercial, and it said, come to Taylor, Michigan, and there's independent pro wrestling, and it was Midwest Territorial Wrestling, and Al Snow he was the champion, and guys like Marty Jannetty, who used to be in the Rockers with Shawn Michaels, and so all these guys that left the WWF, or even in Al's case, he wasn't there yet. They were headlining these independent shows. So I started going, I started asking questions, and then just through circumstance and everything, I was working at this Kmart, and my manager there was an old promoter, and so he gave me some contacts, and it just fate happened to intervene, and I got in touch with this old timer named Irish Mickey Doyle, and he used to wrestle in Detroit in the '70s with the Sheik at Kobo Arena, and he's wrestled in Japan. He's wrestled all over the world, and he was living in Michigan, and so he trained me over in Windsor. So he invited me over to Windsor, and I trained with him. And um, he's in his 70s now, so I still keep in good contact with him, and he's like a father figure to me. So he broke me into the wrestling business over in it's called Can-Am Wrestling School, which uh, it starts back up this November. Uh, Scott Demore, who is the president of Impact Wrestling, he is the owner of Can-Am Wrestling School. So I am closely associated with that group in Windsor to this day.
Back when you're wrestling for like Tim's Tim Horner's Junior's promotion, LPW, how'd you hear about that?
So Tim Horner Jr. was a student of an old tag team partner of mine named Truth Martini. And Truth Martini has a wrestling school in Michigan called the House of Truth. And so for years and years, he would train new wrestlers into the wrestling business. So Tim Horner happened to be one of his students, and I just knew Tim for a long time. And then Tim got an opportunity to start running shows at the I think it's the Strand. Is that the building?
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite venues to wrestle in. There's on YouTube. There's several of my matches there against
yeah,
Tim Horner, Aaron O'Ryan, Celeste Taylor, Benjamin Boone. Those are all really good matches that I really am proud of, and just the way that it's shot and the cool atmosphere. They have the entrance and everything. It's a very nice building for wrestling. So yeah, I loved going there. It's been a while. I
yeah.
wrestled I wrestled Zach Gowen one year at the Fight for Fremont. I think it was maybe the first one, maybe the second one. But so yeah, I've had a lot of great memories at LPW.
Do you have a list of favorite matches that you fought in?
Uh, yeah, there's several that stand out. There's wrestlers that I've seen uh, just come through the ranks, like on the independent circuit, that went on to be big stars. So the first one that comes to mind is AJ Styles. Um, when TNA Impact first started, um, a lot of guys would still work the independents. So AJ Styles came to Michigan. I got matched up with him, and then we became good friends. And I still see him whenever like if they come to Detroit, I'll make a point to catch up with him. And Seth Rollins, I wrestled him a lot before he went to WWE. He was known as Tyler Black back
Yeah,
then. But yeah, so I would wrestle him in Detroit and Chicago, and a lot of people. Sean Spears from AEW, who was what did he go by in? He was in NXT for a long time. The
Ty
Perfect 10.
Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger, yes. So yeah, but Sean Spears is a great guy. He's from Canada, so I knew him from wrestling in Canada for years, and um, Chris Sabin, and a lot of Impact guys that I worked with. I helped train Chris Sabin and brought him over to Windsor, and then he got affiliated with Impact. So Jimmy Jacobs, Petey Williams, um, those are all my favorite opponents.
Who would you say that your toughest opponents are that you've faced so far?
Wow. I've actually wrestled the Road Warriors. Um, this was probably 20 years ago, but I teamed up with Chris Sabin, and we wrestled the Road Warriors, which was a huge honor. It was right before Road Warrior Hawk passed away. So, probably one of his last matches was against us. And Mil Mascaras, who is a Mexican legend, like if you follow Lucha Libre, um, he's definitely a legend in the Mexican wrestling community. So, and he's worldwide. He's big in Japan, and all these other countries around the world. So Mil Mascaris was a tough one. I wrestled him a few times. Um, wow. Um, Nigel McGuinness. I wrestled Nigel McGuinness when he was very active in his wrestling career. Jerry Lynn, who was the former ECW. Uh, he's wrestled everywhere: WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA in the X division. So there's been so many wrestlers that I've been able to get in the ring with. Johnny Gargano, um, yeah, Danhausen. I wrestled a lot of people, so it's from all ranges, old, young, veterans, up and comers. So it's been a really good career that I've kind of carved out. So
You talked about Jerry Lynn. I feel like he was just in AEW because he was gonna have a match and he brought out RVD, or it could have been someone that RVD was close with. It could have been Jerry Lynn. I just don't remember. Um,
well, and then, again, I have to bring up, you mentioned RVD. I've wrestled Sabu a few times, and he's been a good mentor to me as well, and a lot of Michigan wrestlers, because Sabu is from Michigan, so he's helped out guys like me over the years. So Sabu is definitely one of my toughest opponents.
and he fought everyone.
It seems like it,
Yeah,
there's a few guys I've missed, but there's a lot of from different generations that I've been able to get in the ring with, like the Bushwhacker Luke. Um, it's just it's crazy.
who would you like to have a match with in the future?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. Of the current crop, realistically for the independent guys, um, there's a lot of good guys that I would like to wrestle. Um, yeah, I think I'd have some good matches with Finn Balor. Why not? I'll say Finn Balor. I think we would match up pretty good. Um, don't think that will ever happen, but you never know. And uh, actually, there's some younger guys coming up. Colby Carino, who is Steve Carino's son. Um, I met him when he was a little boy because his dad used to bring him to the shows. Colby Carino would actually be a fun match, and he's doing well in the NWA. So if you're not familiar with Colby, you could look him up. He's really good talent.
Yeah, Finn just won the tag titles in WWE.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that whole Judgment Day is a great
Thing
group.
going on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rhea Ripley is awesome. Dom is awesome. He just gets under your skin, and Damian Priest is just that big dude that can just wipe out anybody, and Finn kind of can do anything. So it's a good combination of talent there.
Yeah, you better. My dad doesn't like Dominic Mysterio.
Not a
Every
lot of
time,
people do.
huh?
Not a lot of people do. He's very irritating to a lot of people. So, but he'll be a big star one day. Once he's a little older, I think he'll be like a top main event guy for WWE, especially second generation, son of Rey Mysterio. So
Yeah,
he's very young, so he's gonna have a lot of room to grow. So I think he'll be big one day.
yeah. Did you see that payback tag title match at all?
No, I need to go back and watch it because I caught it near the end, and I need to finish the first half.
Okay, I was gonna say something, but since you didn't see it,
No, you can go ahead. I think I've seen clips and stuff. So
I would say, did you see Rhea spear? Um, I can't think of who it was. Spear Kevin through the barricade.
oh, I did see that. Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
I've met Rhea twice, and she's very friendly, but she's really tall, very muscular. So I mean, she could drive somebody through that wall easily.
Yeah. Um, did you catch SummerSlam came up to Detroit?
Yes. So this is something to go back and watch. Uh, did you watch the Ronda Rousey Shayna Baszler match?
I was there.
Okay, so I may look a little different. I think I shaved at the time, but I was one of the medics that got into the ring to attend to Shayna after she hurt her arm on the outside, and Ronda grabbed us and threw us out of the ring. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I sounds familiar.
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, one of the second guy, the first guy that comes in, his name's Jeff Bundy. He's actually a referee who has been all over the independent circuit. But I come in second with him, and after she throws Jeff, Ronda grabs me by the shirt and tosses me across the ring. So it was a pretty cool moment. There was 59,000 people, and get thrown across the ring. So that was a great experience.
Yeah. WWE was or summer not WWE. SummerSlam was the first live wrestling event I've been to like main like big time besides LPW.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yes, it was nice to see that. I actually got this ticket.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and on the back it shows and it says I was or
Oh
just
yeah.
the attendance. I actually got a picture. It's like blurry, but I got a picture with Chad Gable.
Okay.
He acknowledged the camera, so that was cool. Here, I'll try to.
I saw him backstage. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah, I interviewed Whip Dog a couple days ago, and
Okay.
he said that he was actually there and he got to interview Chad Gable.
Yeah, I saw him. They had a press conference room in one of the hallways at the arena, and I didn't see Whip Dog, but I saw the video afterwards where he interviewed LA Knight, or he asked LA Knight a question too. So that's cool that he got to talk to Gable too.
Yeah, here's a
Oh yeah,
picture. Yeah,
yeah, those are great moments.
yeah. I'm actually a fan of Chad Gable.
Oh man, he's gonna be big. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know if he can beat Gunther. Maybe he will. Who knows?
yeah,
I think he's already got a win over him. I'm not sure, but
yeah, by count out.
yeah. So I
And
mean,
then two losses. I think two losses in a row, I think.
I
Or
mean,
not in a row.
he might make a big comeback and win that Intercontinental title. That would be really something.
Yeah, that would be something. Going back to when I asked you, let's say that before like all the main stars got into like WWE and like AEW and all that, or before anyone retired, would there be matches that you would like to have?
Oh wow, yeah. I would like to. I would love to have another one with AJ Styles. I would love to have a match with Cody Rhodes. I think Cody would be incredible. Actually, uh, before Cody left the WWE, he was still doing Stardust,
Yeah,
and I was there backstage, and he was having trouble putting his outfit on, so I had to help Stardust put his little cape on. So he was appreciative of that. But so Cody, I've met, a really friendly guy. So Cody would be a great one. Um, it, Probably something that might be more plausible. Chris Sabin, he's been doing really good at Impact Wrestling. Um, they're having their 1,000th episode of Impact, so that's a big deal. That's a lot of time over the years to consistently put out a great product. And also, I'll say this: Alex Shelley, he's their world champion right now. And I have wrestled Alex Shelley in tag team matches, in triple threat matches, in 6-man tag matches, but I have never wrestled Alex Shelley in a singles match. So, if I could just throw it out there, Amazing Nate Matson versus Alex Shelley in a singles match, that would be probably on my bucket list to do. And he's another Detroit guy, so we're Michigan boys, so we
Yeah,
always throw up the Michigan sign.
I'm a Michigan fan too. I'm actually from Michigan.
Okay.
I lived up there for I think like a year or two. Because I was born up there, had all my heart surgeon stuff up there at the U of M hospital. So I have a bunch of great memories, or not, I mean memories as far as I'll go up there, Michigan.
That's great. Yeah, it's a good place to live. The winters are rough, but summer, spring, and fall are good. So,
Yeah. Well, that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
hey, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, this was fun. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate you interviewing all the wrestlers and giving us some exposure and getting to know us a little bit. So I appreciate it.